climbing to the top right now. We are way up here. Holy cow. Let's just say it's steep, steep, steep. If you look behind me, we're in the high country. Got the brother with me up there. Hiking along the trails. We've got to go to that peak up there. Whew. We're looking to probably get situated in a good spot to glass in a couple different basins. We're just looking to see if we can find maybe a couple bucks that are worth coming back into this spot for. It's a pretty far hike. It's pretty steep, rugged, so we'll keep you guys posted. Okay guys, made it to glassing point number 1. We're really far up here right now. Probably backed in a good 4 or 5 miles right now. Got a pretty good basin to watch right now. It's just getting to that good time of the night where the bikes are gonna start moving. Hopefully turn up something good in this basin. If not, head over to the other one and check that one. But I'll give you guys a view of what I'm looking at right now. Bombing back up into one of our favorite basins to hunt here on the unit. Man, it's a hike. Basically straight uphill out of the car, just bomb in there. Then we got this nice flat spot at the top, about a mile on that flat spot. And then we have one more climb up to the top. And we get into these nice little cuts and basins and drainages where these bucks live. I'm excited for this year. Got some trail cameras to grab today. Got a little bit of a different setup today because I forgot my boots. So what I'm doing is I grabbed my gaiters, my KUIU gaiters, which I love, and I just wrapped them around my white Vans. I'll show you guys. Not an ideal situation. I got about a 3-mile hike, but gotta make the most of it. So we'll see what we got on the cameras. They've been up for about 2 weeks. Excited to see, guys. I'll let you know. Show you some photos here in the future, but see you guys later. This is your first shot with the new strings. You feel confident?
A little nervous.
A little nervous? Okay, 40 yards here. All right, put one in the center for him to warm up for. Not bad, a little right, but not bad. Kind of yanked it a little bit.
It's a little more than that. I know.
We're gonna have to push it back to center. Just shoot it. Should I hit on the left side so it goes back more center?
Yeah, do it. Uh-oh.
What?
Did it go through the target?
I think it did. No, it didn't. It's right where I said, left side. Girl.
It really is.
Nice. So unfortunately enough, I didn't have any sort of handheld camera or, you know, a nicer head camera or something to film the actual hunt with. So I didn't get a lot of the hunt on video, which is unfortunate, but we did make a play on that buck. He ended up bedding in this pocket of pines where most of the deer bed in that area, and there's no way for them to get out without us seeing that. So we watched him for a while. He never came out. We ended up making the play to go about 1.5 miles across the mountain, get behind the other basin that he was in, and then kind of come over the top, check the wind there and see if we needed to go below him or come, you know, directly above him, whatever it may have been. We got up there and checked the wind, made a nice play underneath him, came to where he was. He wasn't there. We don't know what happened. We didn't spook him. It was a colder day on opening day, a lot of rain. For all of you guys that were out there, you probably saw that. A lot of rain. It was overcast, probably in the 50s all day long. So it was a nice, cool day. I think he just got up and rebedded in the time that we went over there to stalk him, so we weren't able to actually get a nice play on him. What we did was we didn't want to spook him or anything, so we just backed out there slowly, came over the top, got to a different glassing point, and from there we were trying to relocate him again as the day went on. So I got to the highest point to glass from underneath a little bit of a pine, and I was excited. It was a cool spot, but I fell asleep obviously really hot, and I woke up and walked to a different spot just to see if I could see him up and feeding or something, or maybe just like changing beds by any chance, and didn't see much. So I walked back to my pack to grab it and maybe hike around to a different point, and picked up my pack, and there's a rattlesnake underneath me, like a huge one that had been sleeping underneath my pack. Freaked me out. It slithered away, but I mean, there was a lot of snakes up there this year. It was pretty hot, so we ended up walking back to a different point, and my dad and brothers and friend were just glassing as well, and we ended up spotting the buck up and feeding around 2 o'clock with some does and some bucks, and so we were like, great opportunity to make a stalk, especially since he's going to change beds. We're probably going to see him, and hopefully that'll be his final bed for the day, and he'll get up in the evening and maybe just feed a little bit, and we can get a good opportunity. The problem was he was way down in the basin in a steep, thick, terrible spot to stalk, but we knew it was going to be our only opportunity. So we walked again across probably 1.5 miles, got to the point where we could get down below him, and we knew we had to drop about 800, 900 vertical feet. So we dropped down into there, got into a little bit of a rock ledge where we knew they were below us, probably 80, 90 yards. We were going to have to cut the distance. Checked the wind, made sure everything was right. It was getting later, so thermals were changing, things were shifting. We didn't know for sure what we were gonna do. We ended up sliding down into there. We couldn't see him. We thought maybe he had moved or he wasn't in the spot anymore, but we actually got to about 40 yards and we saw his antler tips sticking out through the thick oak brush and, you know, pine trees. There was no shot, just saw antler tips, and they'd be moving around. He'd be shaking, buzzing off flies, things like that. And we ended up waiting for a couple of hours, and he stood up. Still no shot through the thickness because he caught a little bit of our wind and bounded off and got to about 70 yards. And it was a tough shot because we were in the cliffs, and my buddy actually had the shot, so he took the shot, missed it, and that was the end of that. And the hunt continued for that buck because that was our number one buck, and there were a lot of good bucks around, but he was definitely the best buck in the basin. So
we wanted to find him. I appreciate you guys watching the video. I know it wasn't the greatest content, obviously it was all shot on my iPhone, but definitely going to be upgrading the content and hopefully getting some more footage for you guys of the actual hunt and hopefully getting some cool encounters for you. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can, and there'll be some great content coming out for sure. So I appreciate it. Thank you.